Welcome to Not Your Average Neighbor, the podcast celebrating inspiring individuals and the amazing work they do in our community. I'm Ann Roshar, your host, inviting you to join me as we shine a light on stories of resilience, connection, and good news. Let's build a neighborhood that uplifts and inspires, one story at a time. Howdy, neighbors. It's Ann Roshar, your hostess with the mostest, not your average neighbor, not your average realtor, right here in Cedar Rapids. And each week, I am bringing you stories of resilience and inspiration and good news and fun, amazing people. And so today, I'm very excited to introduce you to my guest for this week's episode. But first, usually I have my sidekick, Jace, here with me behind the scenes, making sure that he's making notes and all of that stuff to help me put out the best episode that I can. And unfortunately, um, he is experiencing some weather and electricity outage issues. For those of you who don't know, my friend Jace he lives in the Philippines, and they have earthquakes, typhoons, they have tornadoes, they have everything to the extreme. And so that is why he can't be here today. But not to worry, I'm sure everything will be fine. Just keep him in your prayers, your good vibes, because Jace is one in a million, and I'm so lucky to have him. Okay, that being said, we are going to introduce you to my next neighbor. Hey, this is my friend Char Cahill, and I am so excited to introduce you to my neighborhood, Char, and to my community. Briefly, just to get introduced to how I was introduced to you. Well, let me say, we did try to record this about a month ago, and my ADD meds were like in full force. I was like, bam, bam, bam. And I was all over the place. And that is not, you know, a great look for myself. So selfishly and graciously, Shar said that she would re-record this. So fingers crossed, this one's good. I haven't induced with too much caffeine, so it should be fine.
I love it.
Well, Shar is an amazing woman, but let me just say how we got introduced, and that was through the TikToks. Yes, I say the TikToks, okay, people? I am old. I like to say the TikToks, the YouTubes, the Facebook. That is me, okay? And she made this really, it was a very inquisitive, or I was inquisitive, or I don't know what the word is. She made a post that made me very inquisitive about who she is. And I was like, Shaw, you are in my town, because they just moved here in November, by the way. I was like, you are in my town. Let's get coffee and let's be friends. And that's how our friendship has evolved. We've only known each other a couple months, but I'm so glad you're here. Do you remember that post that I was referring to there, Shar?
Yes, I just put out a post and I said, "Hey, who lives in Iowa and who loves to get food and meet community and meet up?" And yes, you responded, and I got a few responses from that.
Oh, wonderful. Have you went out and met anyone else from that yet?
Yes,
Oh,
because
good.
that's like my brand. I feel like food brings people together. Not I feel like I've actually done extensive research on this. I had an ex, he wouldn't eat cheese. It drove me insane more than it should have. I was like, what's wrong with me? But it's actually biologically wired from caveman times. You eat this berry, you survive. I eat this berry, I survive. So there's so much about the psychology of food that people don't even understand, and how we can break bread together, enjoy each other's company, and actually become closer.
I love that so much. And I definitely agree. There's nothing better than having a really good meal and like thinking about it and go, oh my God, I can't wait to go back. But being with friends, we're family as well, when you're doing that is amazing. I totally agree about that. Now, like I said, when I messaged you, I have a tenderloin Casey's pizza palette. So maybe I would not be one of those to be a foodie friend, but perhaps I could be a real life friend and introduce you to amazing people in our community. So thank you for saying yes. And I'm just so glad. Again, I can't reiterate this enough. TikTok brings your FYP, the people that are supposed to be in your circle, they are there. And I sometimes I feel like I'm talking to air in the TikTok land, right? Because sometimes people don't see that. But I'm so glad that you came up on my page and we had a really great coffee talk. And that was so fun. So let's talk about, because you have been super busy this summer, by the way. You've been traveling and also doing something fun that I want to hear more about. So tell us first, let's talk about Cozumel. And that was your first time, right?
First time in Cozumel, not my first time in Mexico. We wanted
Right.
to go scuba diving. We're avid scuba divers, and I heard the scene there was beautiful. So naturally, we booked it. And Cozumel was amazing. I've been to Morelia, I've been to Cancun. I feel like everyone has Tulum, Cancun area. But I felt like Cozumel was more close to my experience when I lived in Hawaii. Very island vibes, very tight knit community, very cultural. It hasn't really changed much over time, which I love. So we got to soak that all in, soak up some sun. It was a really great time.
Oh gosh, that sounds magical. I think I need that in my life. Um, you mentioned island vibes, and so let's talk also about how you arrived here in Iowa. Where did you come from, Shar?
I actually came from Hawaii, always have a piece of it on me. Met my husband in Hawaii. He was on a nuclear submarine. He's super cool, super smart. And when we were looking to get out of the military, nuclear jobs are hard to find, funny enough, and they're always in the middle of nowhere. So this is my first time in my whole life being landlocked, but we got a job opening up the Dwayne Arnold facility out here, and that's what brought us to Iowa.
Well, we're so glad that that did. Nuclear sounds scary, but we've had the Dwayne Arnold power plant for many, many years, and it was offline for a little bit. And now you're bringing it back for all the stuff that's happening here in Cedar Rapids. And
Oh,
that's right, 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 right. And Lynn County area. So that is amazing. What is one thing that's similar? Is there one thing that's similar to for Hawaii versus Iowa? Is there one thing that you find that there is similar
yes,
between the
absolutely.
two that you wouldn't think? We as Iowans wouldn't think. I've been to Hawaii. I can't wait to go back someday. I will. But tell us about that.
I would say the family culture. I came from DC, and in DC, people are very isolated. It's a very individualistic culture. And when I moved to Hawaii, it was a very family centric culture, which was a little bit different for me. I wasn't used to that. And moving to Iowa, I see the same center around family. And I see a lot of people, like even in my neighborhood, one of the ladies that lives 5 houses down, her parents live 2 houses down from that, and it's you just see multi-generational housing here as well, which again, you don't see very often in DC. So I would say, yeah, that family unit.
Right. Family unit. I love that. Yeah, I do feel like that is something that Hawaii and I have in common. Also, the amazing scenery. No, you know what? I'm not saying that Iowa isn't beautiful because it is. It has, especially this summer, we have gotten a lot of rain. And so everything is still green, which makes my heart so happy because typically right about now in August, everything is dry, it is brown. So you are experiencing a very unique summer because usually it's just hot AF and brown. So we're so although I bitch about the rain and like, okay, enough already. It is good that we have continued to have rain all summer. So, um, but I just Yeah. I love I love Hawaii. I went to, where did I go? Maui
Mhm.
and, Kauai, right? Kauai is
Hawaii.
over there? Kauai. And then that devastating weather that happened there, and so do you have any friends that live over there? Do we have any updates about how that's going?
Yeah, Lahaina. I actually have friends that grew up there, still lived in, they didn't, but their family still lived in generational housing there. And it got wiped out, but Lahaina's rebuilding. They're actually doing really great. They just opened up their boardwalk for the first time. And the before and after pictures, it's just really amazing seeing how much the community comes together, which is something also very similar to Iowa.
Mhm.
I wasn't here for
Mhm.
the derecho or for the flood, but I have heard so many stories about how the whole community came together to help rebuild, and that is also a very Hawaii vibe.
Yes, 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 yes. When you said that, that's immediately where I went. These devastating weather situations that we have, sometimes there is a silver lining, right? There is rebuilding, rebirth, making it someplace where people want to come or stay. And so, although it's always devastating, and there's still people with PTSD, especially with the anniversary of derecho coming right up on Monday, I believe. People still get worried when there's wind. I mean, it was crazy town, but we are thriving and continuing to build. So yes, that's very the same, I guess, is what I was trying to say. I'm word vomiting. But let's talk about what you've been doing this summer. Besides traveling to Cozumel, you have been doing something else that is very intriguing to me.
Yeah, just traveling, taking advantage of not being island trapped. Taking advantage of being able to take road trips. When we lived in Oahu, our longest road trip was like 2 hours, and you would go around the whole island. So now we just love the freedom of being able to we did a donut run in Chicago, and that was a 4-hour drive, and then the next week we did a wine run in Minneapolis because, foodies, we have to make fitness and food go together. Enjoying being able to travel around and explore both this state and neighboring states, see everything that there's.
Yeah, I agree. Although our airport is beautiful, sometimes it's not the easiest to travel in and out of. So it is true that so you can drive is my point. You can drive to Minneapolis, you can drive to Kansas City, St. Louis, you can drive to Chicago, which is my favorite. Have you ever been to Chicago before that?
Yes, I had flown to Chicago when I lived in DC, quick direct flight. But I like driving more because you can explore areas outside the city. Like we explored Burr Ridge this time because we kind of wanted to stay outside of the city, and such a cute town. Amazing. Totally would go
Yeah.
back.
Yeah. Chicago is by far my most favorite big city in this area. I mean, they all have great attributes, but Chicago is a vibe. I love it so much. And
There's some.
I think we are maybe going there. My husband and I will be celebrating our 25th wedding anniversary on September 22nd. Don't forget, Jeff, if you're listening. No, I'm just kidding. He doesn't forget. Uh, but we've been talking about maybe just taking a little weekend trip over there because it's just so cool. I just love it, but it is expensive. That's
That's why
one
we
good
like to
thing.
stay a little outside the city. You save
Yeah,
money that, but
yeah,
but
yeah,
it's
yeah.
good. Like, we
What?
tried the best burger in the whole world. I'm calling on that. I don't think it was, but my husband loved it. He was like, "This is the best burger in the whole world." So, just the coolest things in Chicago.
Yeah, for sure. Where was this best burger? I need to know.
At a restaurant called Au Cheval, it's very interesting. It's like a diner, but a very upscale diner. And all they make is like 2 burgers, and they make, some other dishes like chicken wings and things like that. But they're very particular about their burgers. You are not allowed to add ketchup. You're not allowed, like, how they make them is how you eat them kind of vibes. But we added bacon. They have a few things you can add. We added bacon and a fried egg because we were told that's the way you have to eat it to get the full experience, and it was very delicious. I'm a spicy girl. I was like, "I want jalapenos, and I can't add anything to this." So it was very flavorful, though. even
Oh,
without the house.
that's so funny. I'm just thinking of maybe not you maybe not remember this, but Seinfeld used to have the soup Nazi where the soup guy, you would go in, you just tell him your soup and then you go down and there was no questions asked. And if you would be like, oh, I want to, no soup for you. So it sounds like that's maybe kind of how this place is, which is an interesting way. But I guess if they're touting the best burger in the world, I mean, we have pretty good burgers right here in Cedar Rapids. I'm not going to lie. Have you tried tornadoes yet? A lot of
Love
people love
tornadoes.
tornadoes.
Yep,
Yes,
they
yes,
have that
yes.
spicy burger on the menu. I actually went out last night and tried Bricks for the first time, and I got a goat cheese blueberry burger, and it was to die
Ooh.
for, to die for.
Oh my God, that does sound yummy.
Yeah, and I didn't expect it because it didn't say spicy on the menu, but it had a little bit of a kick. I was like, "Oh, best of both worlds."
Sacred Cow, and I'm thinking I'm at local poor street food and Cliff's
Yes,
Dive bar, like all of those. Oh, and then up, what's it? Hipster in
hipster
Marion. Like we have
cold
this
drink.
like group, and each one of them have their own vibe. And just so you know, I don't know if you know this, but they like to put on little like they do the Christmas, like where they go out all for Christmas. I wonder if they're going to do a Halloween one. That would be really fun. And then like pop-up Christmas bar, right? And they did a Valentine's one. I wonder maybe they'll do Halloween this year. That'd be fun. I love Halloween.
Yes, I also love Halloween. I got to go to Hipster for, holiday time, Christmas time, and they went all out, all the drinks were themed, it was beautiful, and then we did Goldfinch for Valentine's Day, and they had champagne bombs and everything. I was like, "What's a champagne bomb?" They're like, "Just drink."
You're like, okay.
The Midwest knows how to drink. That is one thing I've learned.
Yeah, for sure we do. Amen to that. And we have to sometimes to just forget all the bad people that are around us. Oh, I digress. Anyway, so there what I wanted to let you know that Need Pizza is having a fun run as well, and that is right here in Cedar Rapids. I believe it's like a mile and it's beer and pizza. You'll have to look at that one. I feel like it might be end of August, early September. And then also, we used to have a crunch berry run, which I'm
Ooh.
not sure they still do that or not. And I'm not sure if food is really involved, other than if you all don't know, if you're listening from outside of Cedar Rapids, we are the capital of crunch berries. That's what I'm calling us, actually. Some days you can go outside and get a whiff of the crunch berry aroma, and it is delightful. Other times it just stinks, but
It's just oatmeal.
Crunchberry Day is always magical. That's for sure. But so I chatted with you when we met, and you took advantage of this other fun, like foodie kind of community opportunity. And so I just wanted to talk about that briefly. And that is the Cedar Rapids Supper Club. And that is with David Meyer. David Meyer. I got it. He is a rep on the city council, but he is a huge community supporter and great neighbor right here. And he does these monthly dinner like supper club things where he invites the internet and people come. So tell me about, I haven't been on one, so tell me about that experience a little bit.
Oh, you should totally go. The last one
I
was last
know. Yes,
beautiful
Black Sheep.
restaurant. Very
Mhm.
unique vibes. They had a room in the back that they had actually set up just for our group, but we ended up having so many people that we had to spill into the restaurant. Like there was at least 25 people that showed up, and we had like long tables of like 8 people and 3 in the room and then more people outside. And so you just got to talk around the table and learn what people do in the community. People Like I haven't done pottery in years, and one lady was like, "I own a pottery shop. Like you should come by and you can like
Oh,
practice." So just an amazing place to just talk, vent, be with like-minded individuals, super welcoming, and then also get connected with people in the community.
yes, I'm so glad that you said yes to that opportunity and went. And then what happened was the following evening, my friend Chris Taylor hosted an event at the beautiful historic Blair House. And you were like, wait, I saw you there. I saw you there. So that is magic happening, right? Right before our eyes. I love that some of them were also at that dinner. And so you didn't feel really like a newbie, right? Like it was like, oh yeah, these are my people.
Yeah.
I love that. So, before we no, let's talk more about travel. So, besides Cozumel, you are going on a trip that sounds very exciting and right up my alley. That I would be interested in hearing more about. We're going to learn about it right now. You are going to Croatia. Tell us all about this experience that you're saying yes to.
Yes, I'm actually really excited. It was outside of my comfort zone, and we have to grow. So I had a travel influencer I followed. Her name's Lauren, and her whole vibe is she's childless. She just follows her life passions. And she started planning trips for other women who were like, I want to go. Sometimes our husbands can't go with us, or some people don't have husbands or, don't have life partners. So she planned for all these girls. Like we have 20 girls going, and none of us know each other. Well, now we do a little bit, but you just sign up and you sign up. You can say, I want to have a roommate or I don't want to have a roommate. I chose a roommate, which was out of my comfort zone, but I was excited. I was like, I want to connect with other people that have similar passions to me. And, we're all on the same trip. So we at least have the passion of traveling. But it's been magical because since signing up to go, we all got put in a group chat and we're just finding out we have so much more in common. Like one of the girls in the group, I was like, does anyone run High Rocks? I'm trying to sign up for my first High Rocks competition. She's also signing up for her first High Rocks. She's running it next week. So we've been bonding over that.
Can you explain what High Rocks is? I've never heard of it.
Oh, so High Rocks is the new fitness crave. It's a fitness competition that involves running and workout stations. You'll run a kilometer, you'll do some wall balls. You'll run a kilometer, you'll do some ski ergs. You'll run a kilometer, you'll do some sled pushes. So it's designed to like challenge you. Of course, you have to train for it, but it's just a place for athletes who really want to not be Olympic athletes, but still want to have that challenge.
So kind of like CrossFit when they do their competitions or whatever, right?
Yeah, a little
In the
better
same
on the
vein, but not as intense, right? Because
exactly. And they have
that
them all
is
over the world.
yeah, yeah. I used to be a big ferals gal back in the day before my knees were like, "No, you don't. You are not kicking a bag anymore, because I will take you down," is what my knee said to me. That's
Sorry.
yeah. No, you go ahead.
I was just gonna say both you and the bag will both be on the floor. I understand.
Yes, exactly, exactly, because I still have so much power. So well, that is so great and so brave. Have you been to Croatia before?
No, so my first time in Europe was actually Italy for my 30th birthday last year. So it's exciting. Croatia and Italy are pretty close together. So I think the culture will be a little similar, but it's also very different. Just looking up the names of places in general, they have their own language, they have their own culture. I'm excited.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm a big Below Deck fan, and that is on Bravo if you don't know. And they go to Croatia, and it looks absolutely insanely beautiful. So I am quite jealous. But also, shout out to one of my besties. She and her daughters went this summer and they had a amazing time. And actually one of her daughters got engaged. Shout
Oh,
out to Sophie. She got engaged in Croatia, which like perfectly sums up Sophie's life. Like she is just a very blessed and lucky girl, and her fiance is just a sweetie too. So that was exciting. So well, I must say I did something kind of similar where I kept seeing this real estate agent Liz Brown. Shout out Liz Brown. And she had this homegirl society. I still have my cup, and the anniversary of that trip is coming up. I think this will be 3 years now that I went. We all went to Austin. I knew no one. I knew no one. I was a big fan of Liz Brown, and then I was introduced to some of the other gals that were going just again via the TikToks. And I said yes, and I went and completely out of my comfort zone. And we had to sleep. Shout out to my bedmate, Kathy Hansen. I always call her my bedmate. We had to sleep by strangers, which was a little uncomfortable, but I did it. And I must say, I was so proud of myself. There were times where I was like Snapchatting my friends, going, "What the am I doing here? Why am I here? I'm just so not." But I still did it, and that's okay. So if you need to Snapchat someone while you're over in Croatia, like, what the just let me know. I'm your girl. I'll listen. I'll be there to support and then keep encouraging you to make friends, because a lot of the gals had been uh there together before, so this was like their third time doing it. They haven't done one since, which I'm not sure if that is because they're not all like-minded.
Oh,
And
no.
so that was kind of like, to know this person, and I'm not sure that's my vibe. So what else? But good for you. Austin was cool. We got to go to Magnolia in Waco, Texas, which I never even anticipated going to. So that was cool. And yeah, it was just a good time. The house was beautiful, and you just get pampered, kind of. I'm sure she's going to put on uh, an amazing, wonderful, memory-filled trip for you all. Are you flying solo? Because I kind of like was like, hey, is anyone going to be arriving at this time at the airport so we could ride together or whatever? Are you just winging it?
I actually am going a little early by myself. I wanted to explore one of the other cities that wasn't on our itinerary. It's the first time I'll ever have an itinerary that I didn't plan. So that's exciting in itself. But I just wanted to get there early. I get travel anxiety that I'm going to like something's going to happen, especially flying out of Cedar Rapids. Everything's a connecting flight.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to make sure. But well, once we're there, we'll meet up with a bunch of girls. I'm down for it. If someone wants to do something afterwards. We don't know yet. Something like
Yes, I love that so much. Now, you were mentioning, and if this is I don't know if it's okay to talk about, but you have been busy also like studying for like big exams.
yes.
How did you go? How did that go?
Yes, I actually took one last week. I have another one next week. I work in tech, and unfortunately, with tech, you are always learning new things. Things are always changing. So I constantly get recertified with AWS. I have 8 certifications right now. I'm hoping to add a few more to my belt before the end of the year. But, the grind never stops grinding.
Oh, girl, don't you tell me. I mean, real estate, sometimes you're like, let me be right back. I'm gonna go consult a colleague because this hasn't happened to me before. But yes, continuing your education in your profession is so important, regardless of what you're doing, because it just re-energizes you and gives you, excitement and possibility, right? That's what
Yeah.
times it's like that.
I saw a TikTok this morning, literally this morning, which is perfect. And it said, the reason I learn is because I don't know what I don't know until I know what I don't know. And at first, I had to watch it 3 times. It was early in the morning. And I was like, huh? But then I was like, no, that makes so much sense. You do not realize how much more there is to learn until you start doing a deep dive. Like I'm doing a deep dive on DevOps right now because that's my current occupation. And it's crazy how much I don't know about automation, even though I've been working in tech for like 7 years. And there's so much I do know compared to people coming out of college, but there's just so much to learn. It's honestly such a beautiful thing in life to be able to learn.
And that being said, we're going to go back to the food journey as well, because I just saw a TikTok where you are trying different types of flour, baking
Yes.
flour. And let's talk about this little ditty that you're doing right now, because I was like, God, everything's trying to kill us. Jesus.
Yes and no. I become such a nerd about flowers. So this last year, I got diagnosed with insulin resistance. For years, I was struggling to lose weight. No one could figure it out. I had tests after tests after tests, blood work, doctors. And it really was as simple as switching out American flour. It really was that easy. And the reason why is American flour is conditioned, which we are one of the only first world countries that even allows that. It's actually banned in all the other ones. But what it does when it conditions it is it breaks down the gluten structure, and what insulin resistance is basically if I eat something that's full of sugar, it spikes my blood. And because I use a mill flour, those complex structures take longer to break down, thus longer to spike my blood. So instead of getting a spike all at once, it's being broken down over time, which allows my body to process it at the speed it needs. So yes, I use Jamie's Mill. They have so many different types of grains. There's so much to learn about grain in general. I have a black emmer grain that's originally from Egypt that they grow out in the prairies right now, and that's where they harvest it from. But yeah, I could go on and on about flour, but I do sourdough, and so I feed mine with a high protein, non conditioned grain. And I make everything from scratch for the most part now, and it's been life changing.
Oh my gosh, you're so talented. Like you do it all, girl. What don't you do? You
Honestly, I
dive,
just
you
picked random
travel,
hobbies.
you're a foodie, you're a DevOps. Like you're a hero. Like seriously, I am just in awe and just so grateful that we met. One last thing before we wrap up, we're going to talk about your upcoming trip to the capital of Iowa, Des Moines. And you are excited because where are you going next week?
To the Iowa State Fair. Oh,
Iowa State Fair. Oh my gosh. Yes, I'm telling you, you're going to have an amazing time. And as I suggested, you took my suggestion. Thank you. And follow the Sarah Bose over there on the TikToks. And she stated, I believe, at her little prequel to the entire thing that there are 85 new items that are going to be presented this year at the Iowa State Fair. So if you are going, definitely let us know, give us reviews. But I hope that you make some TikToks while you're there as well so that we can see all the food that you are enjoying. I see that there's like a legit Maine lobster roll at the state fair that I may just make force my husband to go on a little road trip one day because the food all looks amazing.
I know.
What are you
We have
looking forward to trying?
all the unique Asian fusion. I think
Mm.
just coming from Hawaii, I got all the authentic, and we could go to Japan so easily. We just got so much authentic Asian food. And being in Iowa, we don't have that much access to it. But I heard at the state fair, they already have so much fusion, like the ragoons this year. And so I'm just really excited for that.
Oh my gosh. Ah, I'm starving right now. I'm
I
gonna
know.
go eat something. So, and then you're going to do a little comparison to the Minneapolis State Fair, which, boo, no, just kidding. I think it's a great idea for you to try them both. And then I would love to hear a report. We will have to have another coffee date soon after you do both of those events. I'm excited to hear what you think. Really. I mean, it's such a goofy thing to say, but and when I was young, Iowa State Fair was like that was like our vacation, right? We didn't have a lot of money, so that was like, "Woo, we're going to Iowa State Fair." But then you stop going, and as I've gotten older, um, I feel like that love for the fair that comes back. So I will be interested in hearing what you learn.
Yeah, Iowa actually, surprisingly, to me at least, has a ton of food festivals, pop-ups, events. You just have to really look for them. And I love going because you always learn something. I went to the Iowa Food Festival in Dubuque and or Waterloo, my bad, in Waterloo, and we met dairy princesses. And they're walking around with their crowns. They're like Literally, it's a pageant, but for dairy, and they were just teaching us so much. They were like, "You have to think about how when there's one farm in a town, that means one bank in a town, and one bank in a town means you can have a school system in a town because now there's the economy can fluctuate," and just it's just insane. It was insane. So I'm excited to learn as well. I'm excited to eat food, learn, and just experience Iowa culture.
Yeah, and we have a really great, like, creative, creator space, like, contest where people, like, submit their art, and it could be regular art, multimedia art, it could be pottery, it could be beads, it could be knitting, so you'll have to check out that too, because it's really insane how talented, some of these people are, that submit.
Yeah, and I am so pumped to see the butter sculpture because they had a
Oh,
bigger
yeah.
one at the food festival, and they were like, "No, she's gonna make a big one at the Iowa State Fair," so I'm excited.
You have to see that. It is absolutely, like, crazy town how cool that is. And it's like a butter sculpture of a cow.
Yep.
Is it always a cow?
I no, I don't think so because we got to see some pictures when we were at the Iowa festival, and there were other she had made, don't quote me on who it was, but a historical figure at one point
Okay,
that went all the
okay.
way to DC, and it was supposed to be put on display in DC, but then DC decided they wanted something else, so she made something else for them instead. But
Oh
yeah,
my
it's
gosh.
super cool, and all the butter gets recycled, so, good for the environment.
Oh, thank God. I was just thinking about that. I was saying it like, can they reuse that? I'm sure because
They do.
it's in like a cooled cabinet, a glass like case of emotions, pretty much. And we all just stare at it and get our picture taken by it. It's so goofy, but so fun. And they always have great talent there too. So let's make a date to get back and talk about all those things. I feel like you said September you'll be slowing down.
No,
No?
November. We have trip
November.
after trip after trip until, like, Halloween time. We should slow down around Halloween.
Okay. Well, try to fit me in for some coffee at some point because I would love to hear about those fun experiences that you are taking. I just, again, I thank the universe and the TikTok world and the algorithm for bringing us together. And I hope that you have an amazing rest of the summer. There isn't much left technically for Cedar Rapids, but our next season isn't fall, it's Iowa football, just so you know. We're very, very big Hawkeye fans in this area. And um, it is the next season before fall. It starts before fall. It is a lifestyle. You will definitely have to check out an Iowa game just for the tailgating. You would be impressed with how again talented these people are that come up with such concoctions, and it's just a great day. It's a great Saturday time down in Iowa City. So you will have to maybe put that on your list for a Saturday because that would be really something for you to see. We take our tailgating very seriously. So, and if you don't like
Like,
football, that's okay. You can just hang around and meet new people.
sounds like me and you have a double date. We're going to a total
Oh,
game.
yay. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. And my friend Alex, she just became an official ambassador for Tiger Hawk, which is a beer that Big Grove brews. And so she is creating this tailgate extravaganza. And so, yes, definitely. I'll let you know. I just want to go tailgate. I don't, the game yeah, uh, I'm good, I'm good. But, so yeah, so that's something to look forward to, and, yay, I just love you, so we'll make a date for that, and, do you have anything else you want our friends to know? I would be a really bad host if I didn't say if you are interested in Love Char's vibe, follow her on TikTok at Real Talk with Char or Char Travel Foodie. Those are completely different channels.
Yes.
So if you like one, I think you'll like the other, but you may not. So who knows, right?
Yeah. There's something for everyone.
That's right. Look at you. Look at you. That's right. There's something for everyone. And I'm glad to call you friend. So thank you, neighbors, for joining us today. And don't forget to like, follow, share. I need the views. If I don't get views, then I'm not going to be an amazing, like, late night talk show host someday. I mean, I probably
You
wouldn't
need to
anyway
replace him,
because
Jimmy Kimmel.
yeah, late night is not my vibe. I'm like at 8 night, 8 p.m. night. I'm like, okay, it's time to go to bed. So maybe I could do a evening 7 p.m. talk show.
Actually, though, last night we went to the theater, last thing, and then I'll let us wrap up. And I was like, "Who stays up this late?" I'm like barely holding on, trying to make it through the second act because it's 9 o'clock and I want to be in bed.
Oh my gosh, you're so funny, and you're only 31.
I know.
Just wait, it gets worse.
Oh,
What show did you go to?
Dear Evan Hansen, it was
Oh, I was
really
gonna ask.
good. It was very
I
moving.
heard
I had never seen it before. My husband's such a media, like movies, theater, all of that buff. So he was really excited for me to see it for the first time.
again, another thing that we have right here in Cedar Rapids is a talented, extremely talented group of individuals that create these absolutely phenomenal productions of Dear Evan Hansen and many other types of like musicals and plays. So if you didn't know how cool we are, like I'm just telling you, Cedar Rapids is a vibe. So and with that being said, again, don't forget to like, follow, share, all of the things, and be a good neighbor, be a good human. We'll see you next week. Bye bye.
Thank you for having me.